Hi, and welcome to today's episode of Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. So today is October 11th, and we'll start with this update that let's not start with this update that we got from Maverick. Let's start with this a summary of yesterday's stuff. So the team was in Bogota, the Grants Management Committee hit quorum, the IMC released its report of the previous month. We had some discussion about LEB8s and collateral. Phase 2 of MEV boost being turned on is in testing now. Ramana tested the AB contract. Val started an Rocket Pool effectiveness thread. We all got invited to Marcy's party when RPL is $2,000. Sleety put out some beautiful art, and the chess tournament started. There was a lot of burning happening, and yeah, so that was all yesterday. So let's get started with today's stuff. We have this comment from Maverick that he posted overnight. He says, "Hey everyone, the latest bi-weekly update is out on Reddit." And then also we had this week's community call has been pushed towards the end of the week as Langas and Kane are busy for a couple of days in DevCon. I said in the meantime, we've got 3 DevCon live stream events featuring Langas, Kane, Wanda. And of course, you can watch my interview with Wanda that I posted yesterday. So check that out. Dates and times are available in the event section that I showed you all yesterday. And finally, the latest Rocket Pool chess tournament is now underway, and some comments can be found on trading on the thread of the same name. No beads allowed. If there is any interest for chess or other tournaments, e.g. poker in the future, this can be arranged. And then there's a picture of today's event that's taking place at 5 o'clock Eastern. I think that's right. And it's promoting small independent stakers. So make sure you're listening to that. So let's get through to the actual bi-weekly update. So here in the bi-weekly update, we have our rETH supply up by an annualized rate of 340%. Minipool count is up by an annualized rate of 222%. Effective RPL stake has grown to annualized growth of 225%. And node operator count has gone up by an annual growth of 117%, which are all great numbers to see. The latest version of the smart node stack was version 1.6.5, and it had high priority updates for some clients. There's a lot of R&D stuff going on about like the smoothing pool is successful, and information being updated on the websites, and lots of smart nodes integrations are happening, which is good to see. In the governance, there was reports released by the PDAO and the IMC, and there was information about our rETH referrals. RPIP 15 passed, which set up the Grants and Bounties Management Committee. Lots of good forum posts, including a new Rocket Pool website, a rescue node being offered, changes to RPL collateralization and withdrawals, smoothing pool, and in an MEV optional environment. And then there was some integrations happening, talks with lots of eigenlayer stuff that was like took up a lot of community like mind space, and discussions are ongoing with various protocols pending future integration, e.g. Chainlink and Optimism, and more details shortly expected during or shortly after DevCon. So I think that expected during might be a little bit of an alpha leak there, but I might be reading into that a bit too much. But that's definitely something to keep your eyes open for, to see if any announcements come out of the stuff that's happening in Bogota. So media marketing, Blocksroute were on as a special guest on the community call. Dave and Langas were on Bankless DAO's AMA, and Kane and Langas are on site in Bogota. And then there's a bunch of other stuff here that was really good that you should have a look at. And obviously the 50th episode of Rocket Fuel got a shout out as well. So thank you for that. But go ahead and read all of those. There's some good stuff in there, and follow the links as well. Next, we had this comment from a few days ago from Joe, but it was supposed to be in yesterday's Rocket Fuel, but I forgot to include it. So it was for Besu users, and there's a high priority update. It's not in the smart node stack, so you'll have to go and mess around in the terminal user interface to like change some code around, but it shouldn't take you more than a couple of minutes to get that done. So have a look at that. Okay, so the main thing that happened yesterday was the RPL ratio went down a lot, and we'd kind of been hovering around the 0.185 point for a few weeks, and we'd shown a lot of stability, but I guess stability for some people is boring for other people. So here we have Lord Bogdanov, Bog, who said volatility has been terrible. I might have to switch my LP, that's liquidity providing, to the balancer RPL rETH pool. So LordBog bought a whole lot of RPL a few weeks ago around the merge hype, and put it all into a USD RPL pool on Uniswap. So that pool didn't get much volume, so LordBog wasn't getting many fees, right? And there hasn't been much volatility happening except like a few buys and sells here and there, but most of that's been going through the rETH pool or the rETH pool or the wETH pool. So LordBog's been kind of like annoyed by that, I guess. So he wanted to move his pool. So he told us, right? He said, he says they're gonna move it, and then he goes on to say that, what does he say? Let me see. He actually gives us, just FYI, I'm moving my liquidity to RPL rETH, but nobody was really paying attention to what was going on. And Maverick was like, no, the APR, please, my family, and Lord Bogdanov was like, yeah, you're gonna get smacked. Sorry, cousin. So nobody really knew what the smack thing was going to be. I think we didn't realize that LordBog was going to like really smack us down. So what ended up happening is there was this sale that went through for 676 ETH, and it was from income.eth, which was LordBog. And then there was another one that went through. I was like, no, you were the chosen one. And then that was there's me joking saying there's your volatility bog, and LordBog was saying that's me getting rETH, and he said I can't be my own volatility. So people are just like, wait, what's going on? And then he sold more, like another 150, and he said it's nothing personal, kid, just business. So he was like, and then a lot of people, it kind of became a joke where people were just like, wait, who sold, what's going on? And everybody was like kind of like confused a little bit, but also like saying, bro, a 670 ETH sale. And then Patches says, we may never know who LordBog is. And then people like kind of still people confused. Rocket Staker was saying the wall guy. And then LordBog was saying, oh my God, you guys are so dumb. I literally just told you exactly what I was going to do, and the whole channel is acting surprised and shit. And then Blue says, oh, I sure wish we got a warning, maybe even in this chat. And then Viz was like, man, do you know who sold? And Genix was saying, we'll never know who that was. And then he says, I wish someone had told us. So there was quite a lot of fun that was happening. And Not sure says, sorry, we're all kind of distracted by that big sell. Any idea who it is? So basically, he sells 670 ETH, and then he goes along and sells 150 more ETH. And then he went along and sold 400 more ETH. So in total, he sold around 1,200 ETH worth of RPL. And then he said, here comes a real soul crusher when I take your yield on Aura. So let's see what happened next. So he basically moved his, let me see over here. Yeah, so he moved his RPL USDC position and made it into an RPL rETH position on Balancer that is emitting some rewards at the moment. However, I was telling him like that pool only has rewards for a few weeks. Like it's not, well, I don't know if it's not worth it or not for him, but like, it's not going to make much of a difference to get a couple of % for a couple of weeks because there's such a small amount of rewards to begin with. But that actually brought up a really interesting discussion that LordBog kind of like, also I said to him, I said to him, why are you moving? And he says, I want to just get my rewards. And he said, and then he goes back and looking at Aura. He says, trying to figure out yield. Looks like rETH RPL got 38,000 votes, and rETH wETH got 1.25 million votes. And I said, do you mind me asking you a question? Why didn't you figure this all out before you moved to your positions? And I said, that's what I was telling you about there being such small amount of yield on that pool that he wanted to move to. And he said, because I'm a effing ape TF you're talking about. So that's fair enough, ape on. And he said, then this is really interesting about what he says here, right? He says, we need big yield on RPL rETH. So the way he describes it, he says, you can't pay out RPL bribes without incentivizing a pool to, else down only. So what happens is for the ICM, what we're doing is we are promoting liquidity on rETH, right? So that's the main thing that we're doing. However, what LordBog is kind of saying is that rETH and RPL are totally intertwined protocol tokens, and you can't provide yield and liquidity for one of them without also providing liquidity for the other one. Otherwise, it's going to be imbalanced and the situation is going to get quite bad. So that's really interesting. And then he basically said that he would start incentivizing the RPL rETH pool by buying a lot of Aura tokens and like putting those to work on that particular pool. So yeah, I said to him, he said the yield fees will be like $10. And I said, this is what I've been saying. Like basically he jumped out of the pool without knowing what he was jumping into. And now he's like having to do all this like mental gymnastics and buying and selling and trying to set up his positions in a way that's not very smart, I don't think. But hey, more power to him. Someone asked a really interesting question. It's like, why don't you just become a node operator and get your rewards that way? And he went on to say that he is very hands-off, he's very lazy, and he wants to spend time with his kid, which is perfectly understandable, and he doesn't want to think about, he just wants to set it and forget it. And Patches was telling him, like, for what it's worth, I spend 20 minutes a month maintaining my node and several hours a day maintaining everyone else's nodes. And Patches' experience here is quite right. Like every 2 weeks when the new smart node stack comes out, I update my software. I get it done within one epoch, so I don't miss any attestations. And it's really easy. Like you copy and paste the codes, it's done. Like you don't have to babysit your machine all that much. Other than that, like around the merge stuff there was a lot more happening, but right now it's really easy to keep everything running quite smoothly. That would have been the better way, I think, to get yield, but hey, I guess LordBog has his own ideas of what he wants to do, so that's absolutely fine. Yeah, so Marceau asked a question. He said, how does shifting from RPL USDC to RPL rETH require a sell? So Vaka explains that Bog's RPL USD position was 5-1 RPL USDC. So if you enter with an unbalanced pool like that, you'll eat slippage. So what ended up happening, I guess, was he sold a bunch of that RPL to bring a pool into parity and then deposit the both of the tokens into balancer. So that's kind of what happened there. Also later on at night, he popped in and he said, I have a treat for rETH people soon. We'll keep it a surprise. It's going to be very good. So I'm happy that Bog's still within the ecosystem. I'm happy that Bog's still providing liquidity. So that's all really good. However, yeah, I guess rETH people will have something good soon. Someone asked a question like, will you be providing, like Maverick said, what could he mean by this? And people were saying, is he going to be providing liquidity? And he said, could be, but that's not what I'm referencing. Sorry, could he be providing incentives of his own? And that's not what I'm referencing. This will be a monster yield driver for rETH. So, hopefully he's got something good up his sleeves, but I guess we'll find out in the next few days or weeks when he lets us know what's going on. Another good thing that happened overnight, obviously you all know that the deposit pool has been full for a few days, but actually just a little while ago, we started getting some deposits coming through from this person 0xFBED. So I think they started about 15 or 20 mini pools, which was really wonderful to see. And we need a lot more of those. So I hope they keep them coming. Yeah, I hope that. And then this person over here, 0xAE, has already filled up the mini pool, I think. It already filled up the deposit pool with that space that was made. So there you go. We need more node operators. If you want to become a node operator, somebody in support will help you. It's really easy. I could do it even though I was a complete command line interface noob. It's very possible to do that. So definitely consider it. We had this comment from Ken. I told you all yesterday that Ken and Wander from the community and Kane and Langers from the team are in Bogota, and they're representing Rocket Pool, and also Kane and Wander are representing Noah. So Ken shared this post last night. He said, "Hey, I just wanted to just an update here from DevCon Bogota. I think a lot of the attendees are here already or just arriving this evening. There's speakers reception tonight where I'm hoping to meet some of the other presenters, and then it finally all begins tomorrow morning. I'll post some occasional photos and updates, but I encourage folks that are interested to view the online talks, as it looks like most of them are going to be live streamed." And then he shared this photo of like a bunch of people kind of milling around and talking. And then I said to Ken, updates would be amazing. Ken, thank you so much. And of course, the talks are available on the DevCon website, and you can watch as many or all of them as you want. We got this comment, this photo from Grey Wizard. It's a photo of the ETH Staker booth, I think. And we've got Ken over here and in the middle on the left. And then there's Lamboshi, aka Nolan, and like other people. So it's nice that people from different ETH communities are kind of meeting up with each other, and people these communities are so intertwined. And then Kane shared this photo from the main stage at the conference where I think Vitalik was either speaking or about to speak. So that's really good to see. I really hope that we keep getting more and more of these updates, because we kind of want to live vicariously through the people who are already at Bogota. So keep it up, everyone. Thank you for that. So I don't mean to pick on Meek specifically with this comment and this these next ideas, but Meek kind of brought it up. He said, "It's been 7 years of crypto for me, and I feel tired AF. This is seriously difficult H2 mentality. The macro FUD plus regulatory FUD plus crypto bear FUD is effing my shit up." So sorry, Meek, I don't mean to pick on you, but it's just started a discussion that was pretty interesting. So a lot of people have noticed that trading has been really quiet these last few days and weeks. Like, I remember a few weeks ago when I was talking about just going on to taking the weekends off. There was so much content over the weekends that I was missing stuff. But when I recorded yesterday's episode, I actually went back to Friday and read through all of trading all over the weekend. So I read 72 hours of trading in the amount of time it normally takes me to read one day. So that just shows you that, the content has gone down significantly in that time. And, people are less engaged with the Discord at the moment, but that's obviously not to say that things aren't still happening. I'm making episodes every day. There's still a lot of content to go out, but Silence Hootgood had some interesting comments. He said, "This feels better than previous bears. I mean, by this time in 2018, 99% of the People Project has just disappeared and no one even talked about it." And Meek said, "Previous bears did not have looming macro collapse on top though." And Silence Hootgood says again, "There was no news though, literally nothing to look forward to in 2018. We drew down from $1,400 to $80. And Meek says, "That's fair, but somehow it felt easier." And Denim says, "2018 is where I amassed the most wealth, hoping 2023 provides the same opportunities." And then there's a couple of comments here from Hootgood. He says, "Right now, people are still fairly engaged. I mean, of course, a lot of tourists left, but we're still using apps, rollups, trading NFTs, posting data about RW, Filecoin. We're pushing the envelope on ZKVMs. Optimistic rollups are pretty decent right now. DeFi didn't break. Core protocols still ticking along." And he goes on to say, macro is garbage and World War III is near, but I'm quite bullish. I think actually pretty sweet that BTC and ETH were able to hang out at 19,000 and 13,000 in spite of literally some of the worst financial news, and even SPX going below June lows. So crypto's held up really well. Bitcoin, of course, is right next to its June lows, but ETH is a good, I think 35-40% higher than that, so that's really good. And Jasper made a comment, which is the reason why I mentioned this is bear market posting, and I think I agree with that, but this is the time that traditionally in crypto, like, people have amassed their portfolios in such a way, like assemble their portfolios in such a way that it's provided the most returns by the time the next bull market comes along. Of course, there's never a guarantee that there will be another bull market, but I'm already starting thinking of buying more. Maybe if prices hit certain targets, I'll be buying more, but otherwise I won't be. But Hookgood goes on to say, I don't know, guys, I see sovereign currencies failing, and I'm thinking that crypto was built to fix this shit. I know it won't happen overnight. It'll take many years, but that's the end game. So there's a lot of bearishness going around, and basically what's happening in trading then is people who are there are starting to talk about other things, which is of course always the case in trading, that people talk about everything except trading. However, the last couple of days there've been like a lot of discussions about things that are kind of doomy. Like yesterday there was stuff about vaccine mandates and stuff like that. Today there was a long discussion about the threat of nuclear war and what it might look like. And it's kind of, it's a shame that like that's the situation we're in, but I guess there's not much that we can do right now. We just hope that like as prices go up, then people start coming back and new narratives start getting made, and I guess we just got to get through this next period that people are quite scared about, So in the meantime, if you're scared of that, what you could do is you could follow along with a chess tournament that's taking place. I'm playing 10 games right now. There's this thread under trading that is it's right here under trading. So there's trading and then there's the chess tournament underneath it. And it's just where people can talk about the games that they're playing and the situations that they're in. And it's actually going really well so far. I think we've already had a couple of games that are finished, but there's about 50 games taking place at the moment, I think, or 60 games taking place at the moment, which is really great. And I'll give you updates on what's happening on the chess tournament. But I'm going to wrap up there because the episode has already gone quite long. But I guess the LordBog stuff took up a lot of time, which I knew that it would. But have a great rest of your day. Don't let the price action worry you too much. Just pop by trading and we can all help each other get through these like tough times. So have a great rest of your day, everyone. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.